Hi, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate from danaarcuri.com. And today's topic discussion is titled, It's Not Your Fault. And so I'll begin with this morning, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw someone who had a tweet that they were saying to a person who had been a scapegoat by a narcissist, and this person was saying that they had attracted the narcissist. And so it really stopped me right in my tracks, and it really made me start thinking about the whole dynamics of not just narcissistic abuse, but any form of abuse and trauma, whether it was someone who may be a narcissist or someone who may be a predator or what have you. And so today, this is what we're going to discuss because it really lit my fire, people. And you know that whole thing with pushing buttons? Oh, and there's that whole victim shaming and victim blaming that starts rearing its ugly head, especially on social media. It really does stir up a lot of negative energy. And I think we need to really diminish and dismantle this myth that people attract abusers. And so we need to really open our eyes, build awareness, educate ourselves, and advocate for ourselves, especially if we have battled any form of abuse, assaults, gaslighting, manipulation, bullying, and betrayal. We really need to stop blaming and shaming ourselves, the people who are the survivors, and instead we need to look at the greater picture of what's really going on. And so here we go. Too many survivors have fallen for a rotten lie. It keeps you in victim mode. The web of lies that say that you caused your own abuse to viciously torment you and to keep you stuck in victim mode. This could actually also keep you stuck where you are battling depression, anxiety, insomnia, chronic pain. And you may just be going in this vicious cycle around and around and around and around until you reach a place where you can understand it is not your fault, my friend. Whether you were hurt by a spouse, a parent, sibling, an intimate partner, a stranger, possibly your boss, coworkers, or someone else, let's stop the victim shaming and blaming. All it does is re-victimize those who have been harmed by pedophiles, predators, rapists, child abusers, narcissists, toxic siblings, stalkers, bullies, and violent perpetrators. We must change the narrative. And the narrative is, no, it's not my fault. I won't take responsibility for someone else's crime of passion or their crime of violence or whatever it may be, whichever way it may look in your life, whether it shows up as the gaslighting and the harassment and the smear campaigns, or whether it shows up as you were tragically assaulted as a child, or whether you have been a survivor of domestic violence. Please today reclaim your ticket to freedom by unleashing these false myths that it's your fault. It does not matter how old you were. It doesn't matter what you were wearing. It doesn't matter what you said, what you did, where you were located, or even what you may have drank. You know, let's be honest, in the rape culture, they love to throw in the sexual survivors' faces, oh, it's your fault, it's what you were wearing, oh, you shouldn't have worn that dress, oh, you never should have wore those high heels, oh, you never should have been out at that party, oh, you never should have had that drink, that alcoholic beverage. But let's be honest. It wasn't the alcoholic beverage that raped you. It wasn't that dress that raped you. It wasn't those high heels that violated you, people. Okay? We must place all accountability back into the predator's hands because only they are responsible for committing their crimes. Next is we have to understand that we have to shatter the myth. So whether it's within the narcissistic community, whether it's with rape culture, whether it's with those who have been a victim of incest or any form of domestic violence, we can no longer keep using this negative language and this bashing and lashing out at people who have been hurt because it's only adding trauma on top of trauma. And it is extremely lethal, cruel, and hurtful. Next is that, these people who want you to believe the lie, there is this big spider web of a lie, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And there are a lot of people who are survivors. You might be the black sheep of your family. You might be the scapegoat. You might be an incest survivor. You might be a statutory assault survivor. You may have gone through something totally different, but you have been through hell and back, and you made it out alive. Today, you must know that there's too many people on this earth who they're terrified of the truth. They're terrified of being found out. So they will gaslight you. They will silence you. They will censor you. They will find ways to keep you quiet. And we cannot continue to stay in turmoil because it only leads to more pain, whether it's emotional, mental, cognitive, physical, spiritual. It's ongoing battles, and we have to jump off that merry-go-round that keeps us stuck. Repeat after me. It is not my fault. Please let this be your mantra. Let this be your affirmation. Your affirmation could be, I am free. I am whole. I am worthy. I am an advocate for healing, health, and hope. Understand that the shame does belong to those individuals who are sociopaths, narcissists, predators, rapists, stalkers, bullies, narcissists, and the list just goes on because our world is filled with haters and with evil people. Those who have followed a demonic pathway, who are not using their gifts. They're not using their gifts. They're not healing themselves. They're not finding ways to work through their own junk. Instead, they like to lash out and project their crap onto you and then blame you, shame you, silence you, and keep you feeling so badly about yourself. Please understand that you did not deserve it. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you've experienced. I don't know what dark valleys you have hit rock bottom in. But I do know one thing. As a survivor of sexual assaults, child abuse, narcissistic abuse, toxic siblings, statutory rape, PTSD, and the list goes on, I have learned some valuable lessons in my life. And the past few years have been the most empowering personal growth I've ever experienced. And here's what I've learned. You did not deserve child neglect and abuse. You did not deserve bullying. You did not deserve psychological abuse. Nor did you deserve gaslighting and covert tactics. You did not deserve any narcissistic abuse. You did not deserve to be a scapegoat or the black sheep in the family. You must also know that you never, ever deserved domestic violence. It is not your fault. You did not deserve to be raped. You did not deserve incest. You did not deserve to be betrayed by those who you had trusted and loved. You did not deserve to suffer. You did not deserve to go through complex PTSD or any form of anxiety and depression and any form of mental health challenges. You did not deserve trauma. It's not your fault. You never attracted, and then fill in the blank. You never attracted the rapist. You never attracted the person who committed a crime. You never attracted the narcissist. You never attracted the flying monkey. You never attracted the stalkers and the people who are bullying you. Do you understand? You can't blame yourself for what someone else did because they did it. They chose to be evil. They chose to actively, intentionally, viciously hurt you and violate you. Please give yourself grace today. Understand that these people who are evil, these people, especially narcissists, rapists, stalkers, and bullies and predators, those who commit crimes, they prey on people. That's what they do. They're looking for, say, narcissistic supply. They're looking for someone who they could fool. And so you might be able to admit, okay, I was fooled. Maybe you fell in love with someone who was a narcissist and you found out way later, much later with your partner that they were quite abusive and toxic and hurtful and they meant to do you harm. But understand, it's not your fault. You may have been fooled, they may have tricked you, but understand that emotional vampires, this is what they're experts at. They're experts at fooling people. They could win a Hollywood Best Actor award because they're that good, people. They're that good at tricking us. Because people who are masters of manipulation, they've got it down to a science. And we must understand that regardless of what happened, it's still never, ever the fault of the person who's the survivor. Next is that we have to understand that those people who are empaths, who are compassionate, you might be a highly sensitive person, or maybe you're none of the above. Remember that nobody is exempt from abuse, from violent crimes, from narcissistic abuse, from people bullying you and harassing you. No one is exempt. It can happen to anyone. Next is that I've heard people say, oh, I'm an empath, but I don't want to be. And I'm a highly sensitive person, but people latch on to me and people try to hurt me because of my good qualities. So I'm going to hide who I really am. Oh no, that really hurts me. It really breaks my heart to see people who lower their standards. They don't become who they were made to be. They hide and conceal themselves. My goodness, you have a purpose. You have a reason for being here on earth. And if you were created and made to be an empath, to be empathic, to be compassionate and kind, to be a loving soul, you must embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't disguise it. This is something you are gifted with. This is something that's just absolutely positive and wonderful characteristics and attributes that I really hope you can embrace today. Next is that you are a beautiful soul. So stay true to yourself. Be who you were designed to be. You have a divine purpose. There's a reason why you're on earth, people, okay? Find your talents and gifts and light your fire and follow wherever your dreams take you. Understand that you radiate within. And oftentimes, those who are empaths and they're compassionate, you're actually going to draw to you people who are also like-minded. So you're going to draw people who are loving and kind and gentle and soft and courageous and healers and people who are truth seekers. This is what you want. You want to lift yourself higher and be around those who value and love you for who you are. And lastly, you have to understand that you never deserve to be hurt. Whether you are a scapegoat, a black sheep of the family, a survivor of any form of violence, including sex abuse, please know that there's nothing that you have done that was wrong. Today, Release the chains that hold you in bondage, because that shame is not for you to carry. And lastly, my friend, you deserve to heal. And so if you'd like more encouragement, please go to my website, danarcuri.com, and then share with me, has anyone ever told you that you deserved narcissistic abuse, that you deserve to be bullied, that you deserve to be raped or to be violated or to be hurt by your toxic siblings or your parents or someone else? If so, share with me your experience and how you're trying to work through these false myths. And today, please give yourself an extra dose of love and tender care. God bless.